right, in this video, let's find out all we can about this particular satellite and decode the VIN, the fender tag, and let's see if there's a bill sheet in the back seat. And if there is, let's decode that too. Okay, so the R means Belvedere Satellite Line, which I don't think they made Belvederes by 72. I think they discontinued them. L means low. This is the bottom of the barrel level. If this was an M, it would be a Roadrunner. If it was an S, it would be a GTX. And if it was a P, it would be, P is for premium, it would be a high-end satellite. Your 21 means that this is a coupe. So I'm not sure about 68 Roadrunners if they had hard posts. I want to say they're all hard tops, but I could be wrong on that. But if this were a 68 through 70 Roadrunner and this was 21, like this car, this would mean it's a coupe, which these back windows would pop out on, and it doesn't have a window regulator that doesn't roll up and down. If it had a window that rolls up and down, that would be considered a hard top. But by 71 and 72, they no longer popped out, and there's no hard post here. It's basically just a piece of glass with this chrome piece that's attached to it. And you can see there's no window regulator, there's no provision for popping the glass out. It's just a piece of glass that's permanently affixed to this. On a 68 through 70 model, this is actually a nice hot rodder thing, because if you had a post car, it helps stiffen the car up and makes it a little more rigid. In this particular case, we don't get any of those benefits of rigidity. The C means it's a 225 slant 6. And if you're ever wondering, if Mopars are kind of new to you, you're not sure what year car you're dealing with, if you were to look at this car, this particular car, the 71 and 72, is essentially the exact same car. There's minor differences. Side markers are the big giveaway. 71 is like that Charger over there where it's flush. 72 and later Mopars, they went with this side marker that's kind of popping out there. And then another thing you can do is you can go to the tail lights. They would cast in the year of the car. So you can see that says 72 right there. The only problem with that is on some of these cars, the tail lights will fit each other. So like a 71 and 72 might be able to swap. So that's not really a good safe bet either. But your foolproof bet, figuring out what the car is, what year it is the VIN. So the 6th digit gives away the year of the car. So you can see that that's a 2. So that makes this car a 1972. If that was a 1, this would be a 71. If that was a 3, it'd be a 73. And the last thing is the R. This car was built in Canada at Windsor, Ontario, Canada plant. And another giveaway is it's got this Canadian sticker here. And here on the VIN tag it says, made in Canada. Something cool too, on the 70 and later model cars, Mopars, they put a door sticker in there, which also has your VIN number in it. And then it tells you your build date. So in this case, it's October 1971. So this was a early build 72 model, actually built in 1971. Now for the fender tag. All right, so we're gonna start from the end and work our way back. R11 means solid state AM radio. So the 22 means 14-inch wheels. The U says that the car meets USA specifications, so that probably has something to do with the emissions on the car. Obviously the car was made in Canada, so it was probably made in Canada and actually sold here brand new in the good old US of A. GA4 means that's the paint code. The car is basically Winchester gray metallic. And the reason you see it on here twice is some of these cars came two-tone, especially these Plymouths. You can see that belt line that's there. I've seen a bunch of these that were red on the top and gray on the bottom. But this particular car was a solid color through and through. So that's why it shows the two paint codes being exactly the same. So the B2X9 means basic trim package. 2 is the bench seat and X9 is black. TX9 means black, and that's basically the door trim. So that would be what the door color is. So if this was a 69 Roadrunner, you'd have a metal piece that's part of the door frame on the bottom and the top, and that code would basically be telling you that those colors are painted black. Sometimes, like my Coronet, it's a blue car and it's actually painted blue on the top piece. For this particular car, what it means is that the metal that you're seeing on this side of the weather stripping is painted black, so it's like a black accent to basically go with the door panels and stuff. But you can see right there, there's the edge of the black. Like if this car was a red interior car or a blue interior car, these would probably be, you know, blue like the car, and then this would probably be painted blue as well. It wouldn't make sense to have this black and then have this blue and then the interior piece is blue. The A14 is the build date. So this car was built October 14th. I'm not sure why an A would signify an O or an October, but it does. The number you see right here is the order number. Being that this is a strip model car, I can see this car as sort of being their bait car. You know, they would buy some of these and put them out there, you know, in the paper for dirt cheap. You think, wow, what a screaming deal. You come in to look at the car and then you go, what? It's a slant 6? That doesn't make it any power. Okay, I'll go buy the 340 car, the 383 car. Well, in 72 would have been a 400 or 440 car or whatever it is you're looking for. Or even a 318 car. The E24 tells us it's a slant 6, 225 cubic inch, 1 barrel engine car, making 110 horsepower. Gosh, man, I don't even know if 110 horsepower can push this car around. This is a B body. It is a little on the heavier side. And I could tell you, just unloading the car and pushing it around, it's not exactly light, even with the 225 in it. D14, that means it's a 3-speed manual transmission column shift car. So we go inside the car here, you see, oh wow, cool, it's got a third pedal. That's good, right? And even though this looks like your standard automatic transmission shifter, it is not. This is your gear selector, and this is a manual transmission. Yeah, so this is a little bit confusing because the E24 is saying it's a 225 145 horsepower engine, and the C2R is basically saying it's a 225 110 horsepower engine. So I don't know if you guys, somebody watching this, knows something about these, and why does this one call out for 145 horse, this one calls out 110 horsepower. I don't know, maybe it's the smog deal or something. Who knows? Anyway, if anybody knows, let me know in the comments. And if you're ever suspicious of like somebody tampering with the VIN on these cars, underneath this coolant sticker, which is usually gone by now, but in this case it's here. I'm not going to pull this off to show you, but the VIN number will be stamped here as well. And it won't be the full VIN, it'll just be the series number. It'll just be that number there. Although sometimes I think it might have a couple of extra digits in there. All right, so I'm super hopeful these are the original seats. They are very plain Jane. There is no design in them whatsoever except for the stitching around the edges. So in order to get these seats out, the bottom is hooked in. There's basically kind of like an S hook with sheet metal, and then a bar on the bottom seat basically snaps into it. So it has to go, when you're installing it, it's going in, down, and then forward, and that locks it in. So to get it out, we have to push back, up, and then forward through the opening. And I'll show you once I get the seat out of here. Get that side up, okay. There we go. Had to push it back to get it out. Whew. Well, that's interesting. Never seen this before. Does not look factory. Well, we got a box cutter. In fact, these seats do look recovered. This does not look like what the factory would do. This out. I'm gonna need channel locks. Found pliers, not channel locks. So on the bottom here, basically the metal is folded over. Allows us to pull this forward, and this is hanging on some hooks, so we just got to pull it out and then up and off it comes. Doesn't look good. Ah, pieces to the fender tag. So sometimes, even though people got their seats recovered, the guy doing the upholstery would just leave a build sheet in there. You'd think he would have took it out and tossed it, but I'm glad he didn't. Well, easy in the loop pieces. We'll put this jigsaw puzzle back together best we can, and maybe tape it up. I don't know. Scotch tape it back together. Somebody screwed this shit in there. True value receipt. All right, let's get what's left of our build sheet into a safe place. Oh, don't lose it. This package tray is also not factory. Get that out of here. Something behind this. Legend of Zelda. It's like a box or something. It was. Okay. Somebody's homemade sail panel. Well, I was hoping to find more build sheet, and there's a tiny piece here. It's wet, so it'll just fall apart if I touch it, so I'm going to leave it for now.